Democracy is one of the most frequently used words in politics. Countries call themselves democratic, international organizations promote democracy, and scholars rank states according to how democratic they are. And the question is, can democracy really be measured objectively? Unlike things like GDP, population, democracy is not something that you can easily count because it includes values, institutions, everyday practices, and still political scientists try to measure it using different indexes. There are three indexes that are widely used to measure democracy. They are called Freedom House, Polity4, and WIDEM. Probably Freedom House is most well known, and it ranks countries as free, partly free, and not free. And its focus is mainly on political rights and civil liberties, such as freedom of speech, free media, fair elections. Polity4 uses a different approach. It gives countries a numerical score from -10 to +10, based on how democratic or authoritarian their political system is. It focuses strongly on formal institutions, especially executive power and political competition. As the most recent and complex project is WIDEM, or the Varieties of Democracy project, led by scholars like Michael Kovach. WIDEM does not see democracy as one single thing. Instead, it measures many different types of democracy, such as electoral democracy, liberal democracy, and participatory democracy. These indexes are widely used in research and policy making. What do these indexes measure? Most democracy indexes focus on three main areas. Firstly, elections. Are elections free and fair? Can opposite parties compete? Do citizens have rights to vote? Secondly, civil liberties. This includes freedom of speech, freedom of press, freedom of assembly, and protection of minority rights. Thirdly, the rule of law. This means that laws apply to everyone, courts are independent, and government is limited by legal rules. At first glance, it looks reasonable. These elements are clearly important for democracy, but problems appear when we look closer. One major criticism is bias, especially Western centrism. Most democracy indexes are created by Western institutions and Western scholars, and as a result, they often reflect Western liberal ideas about what democracy should look like. For example, strong emphasis is placed on individual rights and liberal institutions. Other democratic traditions, such as collective decision making or informal political participation, may be ignored or undervalued. Another problem is subjectivity. Even though these indexes use numbers, many of the scores are based on expert judgments. Experts decide how free media system is or how independent courts are. This makes democracy measurement less neutral than it may appear. There is also the issue of political use. Democracy rankings are often used to justify sanctions, support foreign policy decisions, label some states as good or others as bad. And this shows that democracy measurement is not only academic but also political. So these problems, many scholars argue for mixed method approaches. This means to combine quantitative data such as numerical scores, indexes with qualitative analysis to include case studies, historical context, and interviews. And the WE-DEM project is a good example of this combining. Instead of producing one simple ranking, it provides many indicators and explains how democracy works in different ways in different countries. Similarly, scholars like Wolfgang Merkel argue that we should measure not only whether democracy exists, but also its quality. And this includes asking how effective institutions are, how inclusive participation is, and how much power citizens really have. Of course, mixed methods do not fully remove bias, but they make democracy measurements more transparent and more honest about its limitations. Can democracy be objectively measured? Only to a certain extent. Democracy indexes are very useful tools and they help us to understand political changes, to compare countries, but they are not a neutral mirror of reality. As a result, democracy measurement reflects both scientific methods and normative beliefs.